Hey, you tourists. It's your boy Domination. This is back of the basic sugar. Do side text, baby man. It does back. You know this is real men rust up, fake men rust up, real rust up, fake rust up. Prep the rep, preacher, preach on. And today's topic I want to talk about is, man, we need to have a serious discussion about this is one of my most greatest greatest last topics I ever done in my life. I've been touching this before, but this time I'm really gonna finish the job. And I ain't gonna bring this anymore. We need to talk about race, the human categorized. We need to talk about this. A race is a group of people. Race is a group of humans based on sharing physical or social qualities into categories and generally viewed as distinguishable by society. Distinguishable to society. You hear that? That gets you to think. The term was first used to describe to reference. To reference to speak of a common language, and then to denote the national affiliation by the 17th century. So this thing was started 17 centuries ago. That's a long time ago. That's very long. Do you know how long that is? That's a very long time. The term began to reference to physical and personality traits, modern school ships, and considered race as a social construct, identified which is described based on rules made by society, while partly based on physical familiar within groups. Race do not have enhancement of physical or biologic meaning. So they don't know where this term comes from. That's what they're basically saying. It's a man-made myth belief. It's a misbelief. You see how bullshit it is. The social concept and the group of race vary over time, involving folks testament that defines an essence of type of individual based on predictive of traits. Scientists to consider biologic and essentialism and overly isolated and generally discourage the racial explains for collect redistribution in both physical and behavior traits. Even through there is a even through there is a board scientific argument that essentialists and technically logical conditioning of the race are untenable. Scientists around the world continue to conceptualize race in widely different ways, some of which has essentialist and importances, while some research use the concept of race to make differences along with fuzzy sets of traits or observed and the difference in behavior. Others in the scientific communities consuming that the idea of race offer is using in a native or simplifying way and argue that along with humans, race have no text sonic and sonic by pointing out that all living humans belongs to the same species. I asked my mother what the word species means. You know what she told me what species means? It means shit. So we take a shit differently. I mean, it don't make no sense. But that's what she told me what species means. Species means shit. No wonder. We take a shit differently than shit. You know, it sounds stupid. The Homo sapiens, and as far as a period of subspecies, Homo sapiens sapiens, since the second half of the 20th century. The associations of race with the ideology and the theories of scientific racism have led to use of the word race. Itself becomes problematic. Yeah, it's still a problem because they're the ones behind this shit. All through, it's our government. They're to blame. All through, it's still used in general context. Race have often been replaced by less ambition and loaded with terms. Population, people, and ethnic group or community depends on context. See, you see how bullshit it is? See, they won't tell you who's behind this stuff. And you got to ask yourself, who's responsible for this? Who's part of the blame? Who's part of the accountable? Who's part of the responsibility for the downfall for all human beings and threaten the human people and human life and human of responsibility? See, this is what they do. They keep us divided based on certain characteristic and characteristic. They keep us divided. That's what they're doing. And look at this. This is sad. This is how each race belongs to who. And you probably ask yourself, who's behind this? Oh, my bad. Who's behind the real blame here? I'm going to tell you who's behind this stuff. I'm going to tell you who's behind it in a few minutes. And look how they describe each race belongs to each race. But they don't see that each people are people. That's the sad part. You see how they put blacks on the bottom and how they put people between the middle and people on those who are in front and all the way to the top. They did a good job for doing that. Yeah, they do a good job. And no wonder why we don't come together as a whole. But maybe one day in the future we will. Other than in this time we're on, I don't think it's done because the damage has been done for a long time ago. But I'm going to tell you who's behind this racism. I'm going to tell you who's behind it and who's created it and who's responsible and people making beneficial of it and people making money off of this. Like the race crashes they tell you. I'm not going to read all of this because this race question. The race question is the first of 4 inclusive statements about the issue of race. It was issued on 18 July 1950 following World War II and the Nazi racism to classified what was scientifically known by race. And a mortal depends of racism. It was criticized on several grounds and revisits. Versions are posted in 1951, 1967, and 1978. Yeah. Because what do the Nazis believe? The Nazis believe in this quote unquote Aryan race. They got to protect the Aryan race. Let's just exile on them. meaning let's execute them for those who are undesirable. But to those who are desirable, we're gonna protect desirable what's that meant worthy and worthy of us. Those who unworthy, let's get rid of them. See, these people, they need to be in jail right now. These people know exactly what they're doing. Like this Homo sapien stuff. Do you know they put a 2 Asian people, and basically Homo sapien means Homo sapien is the only extant human species. The name is Latin for wise men, and was introduced in 1758 by Carleton Linnaeus, who is himself the antitype for the species. But this is the, and guess what? Who's behind this shit? You guessed it, the white man, right? See, the white elites is the real blame for all the racism. And this guy from all the way from Sweden, he was born May 23, 1707, and Ritzlet Hans and Stedsley of Hus and Purge, now within the Iceland and mostly Persodal, Sweden. He died January the 10th, so that means his birthday is coming. His birthday is already passed. In 1778, age 70, and hemorrhagic is ill state, and demarked and to purge outside upwards Sweden. You see, in the restless places upward of Catalogrid. So he was buried. He has 7 children. He were both thanatologists and biologists and zoomatologists. Yeah, they do a good job to keep us divided, but this guy is Sweden. This guy is Sweden. You see how bullshit it is? And his sponge is Shara Isabel Rima, married 1739 and 1778 before his death and demise when he passed away. I'm gonna tell you something, man. You know, this is the guy who created the Homo sapien theory. I always thought homo means 2 men messing around with another man. That's what it basically means. But it basically means man. That's what homo means. And you see they always describe an ape, a monkey, and gorilla. Or a chimpanzee. But it basically saying homo or homo it says means human being or human. See, this guy is behind this stuff of the Homo sapien theory. And guess what? Who described of an ape or a monkey or chimpanzee or gorilla? And that means you. And Homo habits, sis, trying to say that they are apes and once became monkeys or gorillas, all that stuff. If anybody believe in this stuff, man, it's just a false narrative, false claim, false bullshit. Black people don't look nothing like this. Black people don't look nothing like this. They don't. They just look like people. Humans came from humans. Apes came from apes. Humans did not come from apes. Apes did not come from humans. Because if that was the case, then why is it that humans can drive and apes can't drive? Yeah, you got to ask yourself that question. So you tell they made this stuff up. You can tell they made it up. And look, along with the intense population of Homo sapiens, the deep intensity and divide is founded in the San people of Southern Africa, integrated as close to 130 years ago. Yeah, that's a long time. That's a very long time. Or possible more than 300 years ago. The tempted and divided along non-Africans is of the order of 60 years. In the case of Anglo Anglo Melanesians and divide vision of Europeans and East Asians is of the order of 50 years, with the repeat and syndicate admixture even out through Europe, Asia during the Halocentric and Aboriginal human species may have survived until the beginning of the Halocentric Red Deer Cave people. You see this? And it's in China. Southwest China. And all through they are mostly extinct or disrobed by the extinct H. sapien population about 40 KYN. The Neanderthals instinct. So basically the Neanderthals and Homo sapiens had sex and then became Denisovans. Do you see where this going, folks, right? Do you see where this going? People make a lot of money off of this, man. If y'all never watched the Dragon Ball Z, who you think the original Super Saiyan people? The Sand people. These folks. They over there in South Africa. The Bushmen. Here's your real Bush people. Bush family. Not the president family, but the real Bush's family. They the one with the clicking. That clicking sound. And the Nanaling language and that as speaking indigenous hunter-gatherers. Yeah, the first nation of the Southern Africa. Yeah, they everywhere, all different parts of Africa. But basically in the Southern Africa, they're about 90,000 with the whole that clicking sound. This is Mandela tribe right here. Mandela. God bless them. If you watch Dragon Ball Z, these are the real people that the Sand Bushman people, the real Super Saiyan. The real Super Saiyan is these people. But they don't have blonde hair and blue eyes. Somebody lying. The stories that we heard is a bunch of BS. If you don't know what hunter-gatherers, they hunt for food and are able to genetics and geneticization is to survive. Because if they don't, they will die of starvation. They have no offer food and no water. I believe the system was take place to set up for situations like this, to basically doing all the work for the Europeans, and Europeans don't do all the work for themselves. I'm not accusing all white people, because there are poor white people, but I'm talking about the white elites. They're responsible for all this stuff, and they still have this fuck you attitude. If you don't want to do the work for us, then we're no longer commit to your service. I see where this is going. You're not used to them no more. They don't need you anymore. Do you see where this is going? And you wonder why Africa is suffering out there. And I'm going to say all these brothers and sisters that claim they're going to the motherland, I'm going to tell you something. You can go to motherland all you want, but it's suffered out there, man. And then they're trying to say that the H. sapiens interbred with the Atlantic humans both in Africa and in Eurasia. In Eurasia, notably with the Neanderthals and the Denisovans. Yeah, Denisovans is Asian. The Neanderthals is white, and the Sapiens is black. Do you see how they describe each group? But I'm going to show you who's responsible for this racism. They need to stop buying to this. They really do. Because I just think it's nothing but a false, quibited, and false narrative. And they describe each race that each skulls that belong to skulls. And you can tell these skulls do not even match together. They don't. They trying to say the the Australian Arius, and the H. Hobbyist, and H. Areas and Herturius and humans. They trying to say each skulls that belong to the same family branch of the family. It's bunch of BS. If you really believe that, then you a damn fool. Even white people know this thing is not even outdated, undated. It need to be stopped, man. I ain't gonna lie. Just like they call the quote unquote pan. Like they always call you chimpanzee, like a pan, like a cooking pan, but it's called chips, like you a chump, chip sin, and like you chimping somebody, you punking them out. But they trying to say Congo River, they trying to say these are the African ancestors. Do not believe this stuff, man. It's a false narrative, false science. It's BS. It's bullshit. And I'm going to destroy this theory once and for all. Like this whole thing about quote unquote Neanderthals, right? Neanderthals goes back to over there in Germany somewhere, or of France, basically. This is according to them. And the nation that's over there in Southeast China. Look at the Neanderthals theory. They're trying to say the Neanderthals got the largest skull than the Homo sapiens. So that basically, in other words, they're saying white people are more smarter than you, they're more outthinking than you, and they're more slightly intelligent or morally intelligent than you. It seems bullshit if you ask me. And white people know this is bullshit, but they keep falling for this. The Neanderthals are named after the site from which they are first identified. The nearly valley. Yep. At the time in the Rhino province of the Kingdom of Putuliv Russian, now in North Rhino in Western Germany, the valley itself was named for Senegal's line near the valley. Nearly becomes the Hellside form of the Sutherland name, near men, new men. So he's a new man now on his own, without the people he making the strivization with the people he's with. Do you see the valley, right? This is over there in Germany. Right? So you get me to believe that white people and of the valley of the near, yeah, they always close to you. That's basically when you are always the front, who's behind you? It's always whites. It's always has been whites. They can't make it without you. You can't make it without them. But you get me to believe white people are the Neanderthals, right? They interact with the monkey, and the monkey interact with humans. Yeah, right. You could tell they make this stuff up. You can tell by the way how this thing was played out and how it's played. Look, they made it up. But do you really want to know who's really responsible for this racism? I'm going to tell you who's responsible for this. And I'm going to do it right about now. Right about now. Let's have a drum roll. I'm gonna make a drum roll sound. Let's have a drum roll, please. Any second now. Any second now. Any second now. Any second. You're gonna find who's behind this racism. White skin of European origin. Do you see that? From the carcass. 20 of the 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 rep, 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 rape, rape, but therapists are Caucasian, two are African American, and two are Hispanic. See, they describe each groups that belongs to who. But and here it comes. But you're gonna find out the Caucasian race, or also the Caucasoid or the Europeanoid, is a group of human beings historically considered as a biologist tech, which depends on which of the historic race category categorized is used, have usually included ancient and modern population from Europe, West Asia, and Central Asia, South Asia, and North Africa. Notice they said North Africa, right? That's where the Moors is. So, but yet they'll tell you Moors ain't black. They're Arab and they Hebrew. They Arab and Arab, or are they Hebrew or Asian? But they're shaping a reversible rimble. So this is where the Holocaust, and this is from the people of the carcass. But I'm gonna tell you who's behind this damn racism stuff. I'm gonna tell you who's behind it. It's this man right here. And there he is. Here it is, dude. And here he is. Damn. He's behind it. Johann Friedemann Blumenbach. This son of a bitch, right here. He the real reason why white people are being deceived and deceiving eyes to the world. Yeah, this guy, he's responsible for this, even though he's been dead for years. And they still follow his ideology. And so is Charles Darwin. That's another racist motherfucker, because this man interact with his own cousin and married her, and then he had the nerve to describe what blacks are and describe what his people is. Like they're human and you are less than an ape. Do you see where this is going? It was Johann Friedemann Blumenbach, a German professor of medicine and a member of the British Royal Society. It don't surprise me there. And who comes to be considered one of the founders of the discipline of anthropologists, who give the term a wide audience by grounding it in the new methods of creative methods and listeners of testimonies. Blumenbach did not credit Mendeley with his texts all through his justified list of clearly points to Mendeley and aspects of viewpoints of Caucasus region. In the context to Mendeley, however, Blumen was a multiple genius. He considered all humans to have a shared origins to be a certain species. Basically, they shit the same type of they take a shit they're in. If you don't know what species is, it means shit. My mother, I asked my mother. She told me that's what species is. They eat shit of certain food, the food they eat. It don't make no sense, but this is what it means. These people are nasty, man. That's what they do. Bach, like Mendeley, did rank his Caucasian group higher than other groups in terms of, here it comes, mental faculties or potential for achievement. Yeah, it seemed like it'd be who's favorite of each race, and not favorite of the race. And listen to this. Along the side, the rhodologist George Craven, Blumenbach classification the Caucasian race by translate of measure and bone morphologist in addition to skin pigment. Followman and Blumenbach described the Caucasian race as considered of the native inhabitants of Europe, West Asia, in the Indian Peninsula, and North Africa, including towards the south, the Moors. Yep, the Moors, right? But they'll tell you Moors is intermixed with the Europeans, but Europeans intermix with the African. But they'll tell you that Moors ain't black, they're white, they're Arab. It's still mixture. No matter how much they slice it, dice it, or how they try to remove themselves from each group that belongs to who, they still part of that family. They can't deny it. And Ashley assists this and just this group, yeah. But look how he described each race that belongs to who. But there was a part that they moved, right? Here's why he called those people. It was there, but they changed it all through the years. They know it's what they're doing. Classification in 19th century, Mensley and Casely and Excellent Kid in 1855 and 90. The Caucasian was one of the three great race of humankind, along with Mongoloids and the Negroids. The text was taken to consider of a numbers of subtypes. The Caucasianoids are usually divided into three groups on initially and aggregates of groups. Terms Aryan, do you hear that? Aryan, Indo-European, and I'm trying to think. Get me together, man, because this is how bullshit is. Synthetic languages and Hantic languages, the Berber and the Crushes and Egyptians. This man is basically trying to say that each race belonged to the same each races. But yet he screamed all the different racial scrolls that different size of racial skulls that each race belongs to who. How did he do it? How? In 17 centuries ago. This is how he described what Caucasians look like. Armenian man of Iranian type, the Irish man of the Mediterranean type, and the Ghanaian man of Hantic type, and Amsterdam man of the Iridic type, the Edeshes man of Nomadic type, and Taslit man of Alpinian type, Honduran man of Aryan type. Do you see how Aryans look darker, but yet they'll try to say they still white? Do you see how bullshit it is? An Assyrian man of Iberian type. Do you see how they describe 6 races that each belongs to the Caucasians? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Each 8 races. 8 races that belongs 3 type of categories. But it seems to me, if you look at the Aryan, he looks like a dark skin complexion, a brown skin. But I thought the Aryan supposed to look like this, or just this. But this. Do you see where it's going? Because there's a Hindu man suing the European Union, whatever, because he described of a race of people that belongs to people. He's still being described of it as a Hindu, even though it's not me. He's described of a European type, which is supposedly means white skin and a fair skin. It's fairly bullshit, unfairly bullshit meant, because it's. Don't believe none of this, folks, because this is sad. Semitic language and Hamitic language. All that stuff is a bunch of bullshit. You got Hamitic and Shemitic and Chevetic is each race that's come from the sons of Noah. And white men is Hamitic. White men is always white people, period, always Chevetic people. Even though they mix with the Shemitic and Hamitic. Some black people say we're the part of the Shem because over there in Jerusalem. But how many brothers and sisters that know there was a fight took place over there between Christians and Muslims because what the Moors took off and what the Knight Templars? Oh, they won't tell you that one. That's one part they won't tell you. And they won't tell you how Freemasons was all about. They worship the Baphomet. Even on our president's Washington, D.C., the president of the United States down with this stuff. Yeah, these are evil people that we're living in. But you see, he moved it. Because he said that they produced the most beautiful race of men. He really said this. Yeah. These are evil people that we're dealing with, folks. Look at this. Look at this. This is what this man is saying, but they changed it. They changed it because they don't want anybody to know they come from the same branch of the same family. They had sex with the African. They had sex with the Asians. Then they had sex with all these other people. They raped the women. This explains a lot that women discriminate towards other races of people just like they discriminate other races towards of women. To keep the men running power and women to be depressed where they they become overpowered. They become powerless. Because men supposed to provide, men supposed to go out there and scavenge and hunt, and women to together of the divide. You keep the children together, so they could create intelligent children, intelligent beings. Do you see where this coming from? The Caucasians, or they subscribe each 3 certain racial groups. But Aryan, they don't have no mixtures of the African, and that's bullshit. And then they scribe the Negroids, the African Negroid, the Kishin, and the male Asians, the Middle Asian, and the Negritos, and Australianoids. Yeah, they divide each races of the Africans. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But they describe 3 categories. But the Asians describe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14, and this is 17, and 14. This is like they describe each race of a family that belongs to Asia as 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Blacks are 5 families, and Caucasians is 3 families. But those Davidians and the Scythians, the real Aryans, is these people. Davidians and the Aryans. They've been divided from North Indians, the South Indians, the North Indians, South Indians, the dark-skinned Indians from the South, and the North Indians is the light-skinned people from India. They divided because of Britain. Yep, this is bullshit. But I'm going to tell you something, man. Johann Brenneman Blumenbach, he's responsible for this. He's responsible for this. Why there's so much racism going on. And I'm going to tell you something else I'm tired of hearing. Hearing black men always talking about white supremacy, brother. But do you know white supremacy, that those white people want to build a world and build it as a utopia? So meaning they want to build a world when they don't have to worry about crime, they don't have to worry about disease, they don't have to worry about anything. We can all live in peace and harmony. All live in peace and harmony. We all brothers and sisters, right? But they want to get rid of certain people in order the way to do it. They have to, let's put it like this. They have to to execute certain people that who don't read to fit unfit to read to fit or unfit to this world. Yeah, this is what they tell you. Just listen to them long enough. Yeah, white people do have mixture. That's very true. But white people to this day will never tell you they got some blacks in their families, knowing damn well they do. They know they do. Just like blacks can't deny they got European blood in them or white blood. So they get you to believe that Caucasians are freaking cavemen and blacks are apes. And what's Asian are? Between the non-ape and non-human, they got more like alienist and alienized type of eyelids. That's freaking bullshit. It really is. But they get you to believe this stuff. And listen here. The high caste Hinduist to be free white person, which is within the means of the Naturalized Act. Government lawyers later described that the Supreme Court have withdrawn disapproved in the third. In 1946, the U.S. Congressman passed a new law and imposing a small integration quote for Indians, which permitted them to become citizens. Well, there's a real reason for it, because the reason why India people don't become full nationalized national citizens because the British people run India people's money. That is why the term slave came from the Europeans, because they know you don't speak their language. They understand it. That's white people's job to teach blacks to speak their language. No, they don't want you to know that. They don't want you to know that. Did you know the term language of the word slave came from the Slavic people? Oh, they won't tell you that one. How many black people know that one? I'll bet you they don't know that one. The Slavic are Indo-European people who speak the vernacular Slavic language of the larger Baltic and Slavic language group. They are the native to Eurasia, stretching from central to east and southern eastern Europe, all the way north in the east towards to northeast Europe, North Asia, Sardinian, and Central Asia, especially Kazakhstan and Turkmenistan. Do you understand this? They won't tell you that. No wonder why there's north between the Civil War. When they talk about the Civil War, they talk about South represent French and Britain represent the North. One of them are the British in the South and French in the North. Do you understand? And in Spanish, they are just in the middle of it, from each of the parts of some two parts of the coast. Do you know who funded that war? The Rothschilds. They funded that war. Yeah. That's something they don't tell you. Look at the word slave. It basically means mumps or mumble. No wonder why they say mumble rap. The word Slavo word and the relate Slavic glory, fame. This is where fame come from. They making fortune and fortunize their people and sense the kid hearing. Hear what they're talking about. Hear what they speaking about. For you can't know what the conversation they don't want to speak about. They don't want to share with you because they're sharing of the language that their folks can understand and everybody else can't understand. Or silence amongst people. Look this word up. If you think I'm lying to you, and study the damn Knight Templars, because one thing about for sure they don't tell you. They won't tell you, and they know they liars. It's funny how the black community will talking about, and whites, the Ku Klux Klan. And look what it says. The Ku Klux Klan, commonly called the KKK, or the Klan is a American white supremacist hate group. Whole primarily target is African American. Why? Because they're afraid that we're going to try to rule over them because they rule over us. Because we rule over them 700 years ago, and they rule over us about what? All the way to 1600, all the way to 1492, when they scuppered to America. I believe the people who ever lives here, who's been out here, but they will tell you you come from this continent that you never even been. Don't tell me if I'm from Africa, knowing to a homeland I never even been in. And this is what they call the invisible empire of the South. When they talking about the visible empire, what they mean is for a visible empire that's stayed hidden from the public for a long time. The visible empire, they talk about the empire that's being built by this evil bakerman of evil baker gangsters. That's what they are. They're making money fortune off my own people. And that's what they're doing. And then you got the black elites helping out the white elites, destroying the poor whites and poor blacks. They don't care about none of us. They really don't. And you know Hollywood's first movie, D.W. Griffin, 1915 silent movie called The Birth of the Nation, which they emphasized the founding of the first Klan. It was employed market of techniques in a popular fraternity organized structure. Yeah, they get people employed to just join this group. And they got the K word for familiar with the first Klan. The burning crosses goes all the way back to the Scottish. All the way to Scotland. All the way to Scotland. Peter Bergeray, but it goes back to Scotland. The Fiery Cross, the Kennewick Terred. Yeah, it used to declare war. This is what it's about. How it was the fighting between Scotland and all the way from people from Britain. Yes, British. They depressed of the Irish people, and Irish ain't nothing but the niggas of Europe. That's all they are. You could say they don't. Look at Becky Lynch. You can't tell me she don't have no nigger blood in her. Come on. And so is Conor McGregor. He act like a nigga in some ways. Come on, folks. Jake bit Rise. And what is that about? That was about between Irish, Ireland, and Britain. How the Britain people pressed the Ireland people, or the Scottish. Go do your research. They took their women away from them. They took their farmland away from them. They did all that. And the Great Dragon. And this solving the order. Yeah, the Great Dragon. But why do they call themselves the Great Dragon? Are they trying to say that men, white, Sorority of men dressing like drag queens, they like to be and be imposement to love to dress like women? Look at these people. Don't they look like Casper the Friendly Ghost? But they unfriendly of the bed sheets, of the bed, of the sheet of the sexual in the bed. They look at them. They dress like a goddamn costume Halloween party. Look at these people. But you get me to believe, right? The important wizard, basically putting casting spells on Christians, but Christians can't put the casting spells on themselves. Y'all better wake up, folks. They're doing this for a reason. They're doing this to make money. And I'm going to tell you something again, though. If Democrats are responsible to create the Ku Klux Klan, do that mean that the Republicans are responsible to tribute to this party as well? That's something you need to think about. That's like Crips and Bloods politics everywhere, folks. Look at this. Look at this shit. They got to protect their banking systems, folks. Before I leave, man, I'm tired of addressing this stuff. Look at this. Anybody who's not a member of the Klan, fuck the Klan. They the most evil motherfuckers in the world. And that bullshit birth of the nation shit and that Confederacy goes all the way back to pay homage of the Templars, but it really goes back to the Musketeer story. There was a half brothers. There was a half a person of color. I don't like using that. Who was half black, half white. Create this story to pay homage of the Templars. Yeah, they won't tell you that shit. That's one thing they don't tell you. They don't tell you. Look at the movie called The Black Klansman. That movie don't make no sense. You mean to tell me a black FBI agent going undercover and appeared to join with the Klan to get a white guy to be opposement really is supposed to be a white guy going undercover, but it was but it was actually in voicing it to a white guy, but it really they didn't know it was a brother trying to bring down the Klan. You get me to believe that shit. But I'm gonna tell you this, they'll never tell you what the term slavery come from. And let me get started with the whole Templar stuff. If this does not tell you that the Ku Klux Klan is not the Templars and they're responsible creating the Freemasons, you better think again because they are. Look at these people. The Order of the Solomon Temple. Yeah. And this goes back, what? 1919. I mean, 1119, I mean, active to all the way 1312. They've been disorganized. But they've been brought up again. The Temple of Mount Jerusalem. The Kingdom of Jerusalem. Saint Barnard of Sinclair. Yeah. But it's English, not unto us, O Lord, not unto us, but unto their name given the glory. Basically fighting for the country that they try to fight on, for the land and the people they try to fight for to protect the pilgrims. And two knights fighting a single horse, but yet they will hold hands. They will never tell you though. They will never tell you who the Ku Klux Klan, who they really is. And it got the red pattern with the black background and the white background. These people sure look familiar. These people sure look familiar, don't it? Yeah, we've been lied to, folks. I'm telling you right now. We've been lied to. And they're responsible why Freemasons exist. The Ku Klux Klan. They are the bloodline of the Templars. And they're responsible why Freemasons exist. They're responsible why the term slavery exists. It's a form of language of the European language. And and I'm going to tell you something. The Africans know the truth. The Europeans know the truth. The black church know the truth. The white church, they know the truth. This is why they're coming out now to protect their money, their system, that they're making money off of us. They've been doing it for years. They need to be stopped. If you don't tell me that the Ku Klux Klan and the Templars are the same people, man, I don't know what to tell you. Look at these people. Don't they look familiar? Don't they look familiar? Look at the Templars and look at the Templars and look at the Klan. Do they look like the same people to you? Yes. And they got the red pattern. And before I leave, before I go, though, some say that if you look at KFC, there's similarity of the Ku Klux Klan. I don't know how true that is, but this is what I heard. But I'm going to tell you something. There was a phone company have the same logo as the Ku Klux Klan. The same logo. The same logo, folks. It's a phone company. I'm trying to find it. It's in there, man. With the red blood or something like that. You got the Red Cross. You got the Red Cross. And you got the Knights of Hospitals. You cannot tell me that they're like the phone companies they got. I'm trying to find it. It's there. I don't know where it's at. But it's in there, man. And I'm going to tell you before I go. The word Ku Klucker basically means, Ku is come from the German word Kuh. It means a cow. The Glocker means Glocker, meaning bells. Then camouflage into clocks, and magnifies the KKK. This is what it means. Basically, they have a huge cows around the torch around the cows. I don't know if this is true. Find the video. It's on YouTube. He said they have a huge bell around the cow on the necks. These are heavy, imagine huge bells. So where's my cow and where is he doing? In other words, where's the damn nig? Excuse my language, but I don't like saying it. Where's my cow? What is doing? It all started from New Bern over there. Bern is the capital of Switzerland. And did you know the Pepsi was made in Bern, North Carolina, New Bern in North Carolina? And that's why how the Coca-Cola was removed over there to Atlanta, Georgia. You can do your research. They the Crips and Bloods in politics. Even Democrats, Republicans, all the way to Greeks and Romes. I'm telling you right now, if we don't stop them for many years to come, it's going to be too late. You don't have to believe it. You might think, oh, here you go with this another conspiracy theory. But ask yourself this question. Ask yourself this question. If these people are not, and I mean not, the Ku Klux Klan, I don't know what to tell you. I'm trying to find it. It was a phone company. I don't know which one. It's in there, man. I'll find it some other time and I'll show you. Because they do have the same similarity. It was a phone company. Look at the KKK and tell me that they have the same symbols, same similarities. If you don't think that the Ku Klux Klan or the KKK are the same people or the Templars, all the way to they started why Freemasons exist, the banking system exists, and everything else, the term slavery, you don't know what kind of world you're living in. And that birth of the nation, all that was to try to rebirth, to protect the rights of people of the so-called Aryan right, the Aryan race. They know exactly what they're doing. Look at the red pattern right here with the flaming red 6. Look like a blood drop. Ask yourself that question. That's something you need to think about, don't it? That's something you need to start thinking about. Because we've been under the dark way too long, man. Yeah. Look at this. What is the red Hypertron of one phone? It was a phone company. It was a phone company. I'm trying to find it, but it's there. It's there, folks. They have the same similarity of the Ku Klux Klan. But ask yourself this. If those Ku Klux Klan or the KKK, whatever, are not of the same people or the same group, I don't know what to tell you. It might not be that, but it's a different one. I'm trying to find it, but I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now, folks. The blood drop. Yeah. I'm trying to find it. It's there. It's somewhere. It's some kind of video company. I'm not for sure. I'm gonna find it. I don't know where it is. I don't know where it's at, man. I don't know where it's at. Because it got the KKK symbol. It's there. It looked like some kind of phone company. I'm not for sure. A cell phone company. Let me give it some time if I can wrap this video up, man, because I don't want to continue to go on to find this because it's in there somewhere, man. I don't know where it is, but it's somewhere. It's somewhere. It looks like this. It looks like this. It looks like this, don't it? These people know what they're doing, man. These people need to be in jail right now. They're making money off of being racist. That's what they're doing. And anybody that say they don't do that, you are an official liar. I'm trying to find it. It's in here somewhere. I don't know where it is. They have a phone company. They have some kind of phone company where I'm trying to find it. Give me some time. I'm trying to find it though. I don't know where is it. I'll find it some other time. I just don't know where it is at because they have some. It was called a voice something. I'm trying to think. It's like a cell phone company. It's like a cell phone company. I'm not for sure. I'm not for sure. Okay, let's look at the KKK symbol. And then you'll know what I'm talking about. Trying to find it. Give me a second. It's in there. Let's look at the symbols. Because it's like a cell phone symbols they got. It's like a blood dropping, but it looked like a cell phone company, man. I'm not for sure. I'm not for sure. It looks like this, but I can't find it. Look at these symbols. Look at these symbols. These people are nothing but Templars. They are. That's what they are. That's what they are. I understand. I don't like the Klan either. They did a lot of evil history what they do. I ain't gonna lie to you. They should have been stopped years ago. I ain't gonna lie to you. But the reason why they're not stopped now because they have a system in place for them to protect their money. And then you got David Duke, his racist ass. This guy right here, you know, he too old for the way he is, man. Fuck David Duke. I don't even like the son of a bitch, and I never have liked him. Because a guy like him, I'm trying to find, it's some kind of symbol. I'm gonna find it one more time. If I don't find it right then we'll wrap this up, man. Because it's some kind of symbol. I don't know what it is. It's like a cell phone symbol, man. It's like a cell phone symbol. I can't find it, man. I wish I could find it, but for some reason I can't find it. I just can't find it. I just can't find it. I just can't find it. Well, let me wrap this up, man. I'm gonna find it some other time and I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you because their symbol looks so familiar. Like there was a woman, and I was watching Vince TV. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, Vince TV is like it's like a public form of media of politics and all that other stuff going on. This woman, right, had the same similarities of this and showing love and this and that. I'm sorry, the Ku Klux Klan, they're the Templars, man. They're the bloodline of that. Their ancestors goes all the way back to all the things that's taken place. They should have been stopped years ago. They're the reason why Freemasons exist. They're the reason why hospital and Red Cross. How many people that don't know this? I don't think people don't know this. There's a country called Switzerland. It's over there all the way to Europe. It's an expensive place of Europe, of the side of it, from Central Europe. Switzerland is one of the most expensive places of other side of Europe. Why Switzerland? Because Switzerland has been known for funding chocolate and investing to banks. You don't have to take believe it. This is why Tina Turner was the first citizen or announced her citizenship to the United States all the way to Switzerland. She's Switzerland's citizen right now. Yeah. Do Tina Turner knows that town was created because of Switzerland? Did she know that town Switzerland was created because of the Knight Templars fighting wars to help Scottish rights to claim their independence from the oppressed and Prestonized from Britain? They had hidden treasures, man, from the Holy Grail Cup. They had hidden treasures that's taken place. No one knows where that place was buried at. Some people say it was buried over there somewhere between Jerusalem, all the way to France, all the way to Rome. Who knows? And this is another racist person right here. It says this. He argued that many Southern believes that blacks are voting for the Republican Party because they are being hoodwinked by the loyalty leads. One Alabama newspaper edited declared the lead is nothing more than, I don't want to say the word, in Ku Klux Klan. Nedwood Bedford Forrest, this guy was a racist piece of shit. I tell you, man. I tell you, man. There's a real reason why we're divided. Those white guys, they know exactly what they're doing. Don't they look like the Knight Templars, don't it? But you know what's so funny about this? There was a group of people called themselves the Khazars. They had the same similarity as that one. The Khazars, folks. They had the same similarity as the Birth of the Nation posement of the posing Photoshop with this. We need to wake up, man. We need to. Because if we don't wake up and understand that people making money off of this, you got the black church that know the truth. You got the white church that know the truth. Me and my father got in this discussion about this. He did not want to get into that at all. He did not want to get into that. He just left it alone. If people might say, how did they the Templars? Because they describe the term knights. Why they call themselves the White Klan or the White Klansmen? They the Knight Templars, man. This explains a lot why they describe themselves, because they look up to what the Templar, and it goes back to the medieval times. Why you think they put out shows called the Games of Thrones and also the Witch? I watched the Witch series. If y'all know what it is, go look it up. It's good. And basically, his job is to, I don't know what it was. He's like kind of like a witch hunter. Basically, try to fight to make a difference, to protect people. But those who protect the citizens, they can't protect themselves, that kind of stuff. But he's like seen as an evilman kind of guy. Go look it up, man. I'm trying to find the symbol, but for some reason, I can't find it. I can't find it, man. I can't find it because this came from a phone company. This came from a phone company, folks. I'm gonna say cell phone. They'll know what I'm talking about. I should have write the name down, because I've been doing research about this for years. I've been doing research about this for years. Look at this. Yeah, there it is. Look at this. Vendivio 1. Vendivio. Something like that. Do they look like the same similarity to you? Look at this. Why do the KKK have the same familiar logo as this? Don't they look like the same logo? That's something to think about, don't it? That is something to think about, don't it? If that does not tell you that the Ku Klux Klan are the Knight Templars and they're the bloodline, why the world is messed up. Their job is to protect their money system for those that get their hands in it, because they know they owe a lot of money to. We are the currency of the money, folks. We are the currency of the money. There are blacks in this money. No wonder why they try to deny of. Now, before I go, I'm going to say this. And I'm going to say this to Glad TV. Fuck Glad TV. Glad TV started telling himself when he said, and I quote, he said it's going to bankerize the country. In other words, they're saying it's going to run out of them when they can't make money off the people that they can make money off the people towards the people they depressed by depressing the people anymore. It's going to bankerize the country. What he says is going to bankerize them. That they no longer control blacks and blacks can start controlling themselves, or they're afraid that blacks will control whites. Think about it. This is what he said. And this is DJ Vlad TV, the Russian guy. I'm telling you, if just listen how he said it. So fuck DJ Vlad because he's telling himself right there. The name Devadlorn comes from voice dated photon. The language, the letters, a succession of spelling of the phone that choose by the company to reflect the vision of voices and data service over mobile phones. Baby, they monetize you. They watching you. They keep tabs on you. They interrupt and disturb in this conversation. But that's something to think about, don't it? Is it? That's all I can say about that. So it's your boy Domination. This is Back of the Base. The Chug of the New Side Text, baby. Until next time. All right. Peace.